Good evening, everybody. It is Annette from Our Way Farm. I thought I would get on here. It's Saturday evening. The house is quiet. The dogs are snoring. I thought I'd get on here and share with you what I've got going on today. I have been in the kitchen canning for the past 3 weeks, I think. 2-3 weeks. Putting some serious cans up on our shelves for the winter. And that makes me very, very happy. But because of doing that, I have not been super active on YouTube. I have not been super active in pretty much anything because I've been busy. So I thought I'd show you what I am doing. We grew our own tomatoes. We got 3 different types of tomatoes. A mountain something that I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. Then I have Yellow Boys and Early Girls. They did well for first time growing tomatoes up here in New York. We have a very short growing season, so I didn't expect that they'd do really, really well. But the reason we got probably a bushel out of them. The reason that I have so many tomatoes right now is I was able to get 2 bushels yesterday of tomatoes. They're simply, I have no idea what type they are. They are simply called canning tomatoes. You can see that's a nice big tomato. Nice and healthy. They're nice and red. They're all, that one's got a little spot, but that's okay. But they're not super juicy. I mean, there's enough juice to give it some flavor, but it's a nice looking tomato. So I was able to score those for a really good price yesterday at a local, well, it's not local up here, it's local downstate in Pennsylvania, where we're close to where we're from. I was able to get 2 bushels for $30. It was $7.50 a half bushel. And I got some onions, and I got a peck of green beans and a peck of wax beans. So I will get to the beans later. Right now, the tomatoes have to take priority. It's a softer product. So I have been in the kitchen working on these today. And I have a bit of a lazy streak to me, so I tend to do things shortcuts because I don't want to stand and be forever doing something. However, to that extent, I despise blanching, and I know that's the recommended way of peeling your tomatoes, but I am going to be saving my tomato peels and dehydrating them. As you can see, I've got a whole bowl full of tomatoes, or tomato peels, and some of them have more flesh on them than others. Some of them are super thin where it's just the peels. I try, as with everything that we do, try to not waste as much as possible. So what I'm doing with these is I'm just using my vegetable peeler. I'm peeling them down. They're nice firm tomatoes. And then I'm taking my thumb, and because I don't want all of the seeds in, this one doesn't actually have very many, taking my thumb and I'm sliding the seeds out. I've got a pot back there working on spaghetti sauce right now. Just slide it out. Try not to lose them because they get slimy. And then I break them open. It's easier. It doesn't take as long. Here's one with some seeds. You just take your thumb, you slide it right in, they pop out. It's all good. I will take all of these seeds and all this juice that I am not wasting, and when I'm done, I'll run it through the juicer so that it separates it all out. The seeds go to probably the pigs or the chickens, and the rest of it, all the juice, will be used to make vegetable juice, a V8, or a tomato juice, or a ketchup base, or something. With these tomatoes, I have made some salsa already today. I am working on spaghetti sauce right now. We use a lot of spaghetti. That's my husband's favorite dish. So we do a lot of spaghetti in the wintertime. So that's going to be my priority. But I also want to do barbecue sauce, and I'm going to make my own ketchup and probably some tomato juice, because I'm the weird one in the family that drinks the tomato juice. Actually, I love V8. So I will get some other vegetables cooked in there with it and be good. But as you can see, if you just break it apart, it's super quick, easy, not awful. I peel it. The peels will get dehydrated down. They will then get ground into a powder. and they'll go on my shelf, and I will have, it gives a nice heartiness to a lot of dishes. I don't want to just say soups, but it gives a nice heartiness to a lot of soups, or to a lot of dishes rather. It gives a good depth, where sometimes you're just like, I don't want more salt, I don't want more pepper, I don't want more spice. You just need a little bit more depth to it, and that's what the tomato powder does. So I am working on these today. I'm going to be here for a while because, like I said, I've got 2 bushels plus my own bushel or so. A lot of mine are still green. They're still sitting out on the porch ripening on the rack. But just since these don't have to be pretty because they're just getting mashed, or they'll end up getting all blended down together anyway in spaghetti sauce, because my family does not like chunky spaghetti sauce. I'm just cutting the tops off. They go in my bowl over here, which again will go to chickens or pigs or whatever once they're juiced down. My peels go in my bowl back here, and then once I get the seeds out, I just throw them right in my pot. I'm probably only going to get through a half bushel tonight. I can't do it for too terribly long, but my big stock pot that I have going on back here, my son and his fiance actually gave it to me. They live out in Wisconsin, and he was on a cooking kick for a while, and he bought this awesome pot. I don't know, my hands are a mess, so I'm not going to turn the camera. Take my word for it, it's huge. I don't actually know how many quarts it is. If I had to guess, I'd probably say it's a 15 or 16 quart pot. And he bought it for 2 or 3 of them to eat at a time, and he realized he was just wasting food because he was filling it every time he'd want to make something, instead of, you know, just cooking what they actually needed with a meal or 2 of leftovers. So they brought it in, they gave it to me, and I am very grateful for it, because I can't even tell you how many things I've used this for already. Our garden is done. I pulled everything out last week. The only thing that I have left in there is some peas from a second sowing and zucchini. Everything else is done. I'm waiting for those to finish up so that we can get in and get it tilled under for the winter. Eventually, we would like to get into eventually I would like to get into a no-till. That's not something that's on my husband's radar, because it's not conventional way of doing everything. I understand it. I like the concept of it, but for right now, our soil, it needs help so badly. It's very rocky. It's not nice soil. We did as well as we did this year because it had chicken and goat and cow fertilizer in it, and so we're just going to keep adding to that. A friend of mine has some mulch hay. I want to put that down for the winter, get it tilled, get some manure in over the winter, possibly some lime if I can get the soil tested. I think it needs lime or some calcium. I also want to look into making bone meal, and one of the channels that I follow, which is permaculture, I just lost the name of it. Permaculture Farms, I think, is the name of it. I will try to link that down in the description. I follow them, and Billy over at Permaculture is permaculture is his passion, and he is constantly, he's got 3 or 4 different videos, if not more, about how to make bone meal, which is a wonderful fertilizer and booster in your soil. So I need to go check out some of his videos again now that I'm getting to that point in the garden, and see what I can do to get it going, to get it, you know, even better than last year, get some more seeds pulled, or seeds, I got seeds on the brain, get some more stones out, because we are clay and shale up here, so everything that we have is red dirt and stones, blue stones. So I am working with, I have my spices sitting out, and again, my hand is just a complete disaster right now, but I do most of my spice shopping, a lot of my baking shopping at Amish bulk stores. This is 5 ounces of marjoram. This cost me $1.50 at the bulk store. This was 2 ounces of oregano. I paid $1.04 for it at the Amish bulk store. I can't, everybody makes fun of me. A lot of people don't understand. They think that I'm weird. I just, including my family, my kids all laugh at me. They just kind of give me that, "Aw, honey, look," lots of times when I get, "Hey, if you want to save money, go look for these kind of places." And they're like, "Yeah, we don't have those." Not every location is flush with Amish and Mennonite. But if you do live in a locale that has a significant community around you, there's going to be a bulk store somewhere. Feel free to stop and ask, because you're not going to find it on Google unless somebody, an English person or one of their drivers, went and tagged it on Google. You're not going to find the listing for it. And tell you what, you're really missing out on a great resource. I buy a lot of my spices in bulk from them. I buy salt, vinegar, flour, sugar, just a lot of stuff from them. Even the stuff that I don't buy in bulk is much, much, much cheaper. I did a post on Facebook the other week. I needed sesame seeds for a recipe. I asked my husband to stop at the grocery store because that's what was convenient on his way home. He got me a 1.5 ounce jar of sesame seeds, McCormick brand, from the local grocery store. He paid $6.59 for it. I was able to get a 5 ounce container of sesame seeds at the bulk store when I went, which is this size container, when I went, and I paid $1.50 for it. So, you know, that's not something that I use all the time, but I do use it fairly often. But any of your spices that, you know, and obviously if you can grow them yourself, that's fantastic. I definitely prefer to do my own spices. Love to grow them. I absolutely love my dehydrator. Being off-grid, I'm still learning what I can and can't use as far as electric because of the draw, while we, you know, get ready to, or up until we increase our solar field and solar system. So I haven't done a whole lot of dehydrating. I love it in the wintertime because we have a wood stove and I can put everything on screens up above the wood stove and they dry really quick. But haven't done much dehydrating since we moved up here to New York. So I do have my tomato peels, 1 round of tomato peels in the dehydrator today. It was a nice sunny day. As the sun's going down, I'm going to have to turn that off and start over again tomorrow with it. Hopefully it's a sunny day tomorrow, because I don't want to drain our batteries on something like dehydrating. But trying to think if there's anything else. That's really the significance of what's going on in my life right now. Joe's been doing some projects the last several days. He's building a little power shed to move all of our solar batteries out of our house, just on a safety precaution. So he's been working on that. He poured some concrete for it yesterday, and he and Xavier were getting the trim and the battens up on the side of our house, up on the front of our house. They finished up the front of the house yesterday, and it looks so nice. One of these days I'll do a video and show you our house. We are still building it, as you can see in the video right now behind me. We don't have interior walls. We don't have the face of the walls up. We have drywall up in the bedrooms because I wanted to be able to have something to paint and give a little bit of personal touch to for each of us. But the interior walls of our house, the main part, are going to be wood panel. Well, not panel, but it's going to be wood slabs. And so we don't have those up yet. We do have the insulation up on the walls. We have to get the insulation up on our roof, or our ceiling rather, before winter. But we kind of just stopped working on a whole lot inside the house because weather got decent and there's so much to do outside, and building and that kind of stuff like he was doing yesterday. you know, that needs done too. So we really have to work with the weather and do what the weather dictates us to do. Today is, Joe's out on the tractor with the brush hog, and he's mowing down around the pasture so that we can run more fencing and enlarge our pasture area for the cows. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, and I think Monday's supposed to rain up here also. So that's something that needs done before, you know, it's too wet to do that. And then if it's raining, then he can work on whatever projects need done inside. We've got our water system set up and running properly, so that's a big headache. I did ask him this morning with all these tomatoes. I did ask if he could get me my last 2 shelves in the pantry so that I can get them up. He's like, I guess, because, you know, he'd rather be working on his stuff instead of mine. But I think he also wants to eat well this winter time, and we have to have a place to, I've got the food, we just have to have a place to put the food. So, you know, as soon as it's ugly weather, then he can work inside with that. My son is out at a football game tonight. He went with a friend, and so house is kind of quiet right now. Joe's on a tractor somewhere down around a field. Don't actually know exactly where he is. Xavier's gone for the evening. He won't be back until late. And the dogs are all sleeping. So it's just me. I thought it was a good time to get on. You hear my chickens out back squawking at each other. Thought it'd be a good time to get on and show you what I'm doing with these tomatoes. And honestly, I was kind of bored and probably a little bit lonely because here by myself, so I thought I needed somebody to talk, and if I talk to the camera, then I don't feel like I'm quite as crazy as if I just talk to myself, which I do plenty of that too. But it is a holiday weekend. I hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday, whether you're celebrating it picnic style, family, friends, you know, summer and blowout, or if you're just sitting at home reading your book, drinking a tea, drinking a beer, drinking a whatever it is that you drink to relax. I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend. I will probably catch up with you next week and maybe show you our pantry and some of the house and let you see what we've been up to. You guys have a fantastic weekend. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.